welcome. Does seeing a piece of written sheet music drive nuts out of you? Boy, I've been there. So today we are going to demystify that. I'm going to help you know how I moved from not knowing anything about sheet music to knowing some good stuff about it, okay? So if you are to play a piece of sheet music, I think there are some things you have to look at, and some of those things are these ones. So on top here, you're going to have the name of the piece and a subtitle if it has one. And here you're going to have the composer. For today, the composer is Tige Kwenye Beat. I know that guy, leave him alone. So the first very important piece of information is here. It represents the tempo, the speed of the song. How fast is the song moving? And it is illustrated in terms of beats per minute. So this number tells you how many beats there are in every minute of that song. And what takes up the beat is what is shown here. This sign in the middle, I'm not explaining, but this means a quarter note, and a quarter note takes up the beat, okay? From there, we head to the lines, you see. I think there are two sets of lines. One set belongs to what we call the treble clef or the G clef, since it starts from the line representing pitch G. And the next set of lines is what is represented by the bass clef or the F clef, because it starts from a pitch called F. For that reason, music is represented or written in between or on these lines, plus a couple of other special lines which are above or below the stipulated 5 lines, okay? So these ones are called ledger lines. It's where we write notes with such pitches that are above or below the usual 5 lines we know about, okay? Yeah, the next important piece of information is these vertical lines, okay? These vertical lines are called bar lines, okay? And they split the music, because music is considered to be a journey through time, into manageable chunks or parts, okay? The smallest being what we call a measure, okay? A measure, a bar, they are the same, and it splits like your journey into kilometers, sort of, okay? So kilometer 1, kilometer 2, kilometer 3, you guessed it. So the first bar line, if it is a single bar line, that means you've finished the first measure, you can go to the next measure. If it is a double bar line, it means you have finished this section. For example, a chorus, an intro, a bridge. Go to the next section. And then these start, repeat, and end repeats. Oh, they are about repeating. So if you see them, it means repeat starting from here and repeat ending here. If you see the end repeat and you don't see the start repeat, that means you go back to the beginning of the piece. And the final bar line tells you the music is done, okay? You are done. The next important piece of information are these two numbers. They represent the meter or the time signature. And the time signature tells you how many beats are there in each bar or measure and what note value takes up each beat, like how long is each beat musically, okay? Not the usual time of 1 second or 2 seconds or 2 minutes. The first number or the top number tells you how many beats there are in a measure or bar. For that reason, if it's 2 beats, that means it fits 2, that means 2 beats in a bar. If it's 4 in this case, it means 4 beats in a bar. The one below tells you each beat, what does it represent? In this case, each beat represents, if you see a 4, a quarter note, okay? If you see an 8, an eighth note, okay? So remember, there are 4 quarter notes in a bar and there are 8 eighth notes in a bar. For that reason, if you see those numbers, they represent the time signature together. The next important piece of information are the notes themselves, okay? Remember, the notes in the treble clef are represented and played by the right hand. So they are represented by the treble up here. But notes in the bass clef, they are represented by the bass clef and they are played using the left hand, you guessed it, since we play the piano using 2 hands. So these notes have 2 very important properties. Property number 1 is the pitch, where it is. where is the note, okay? Is it up here or below here? Or those are C's, but they are at different pitches, okay? The pitch is represented by a line or a space, okay? Together with ledger lines, okay? And ledger spaces, I call them. Then the next important aspect of a note is its duration. How long is it? If you see a circle without shading, that means it is a whole note which lasts for 4 beats or 4 counts. If you see a circle or oval not shaded but having a stem, that means it's a half note and it lasts for 2 beats. So we need 2 of such notes to make it 4 beats for a bar. If you see a shaded oval with a stem, that means it's a quarter note and it lasts 1 beat. So we need 4 of such notes to make a full bar of 4 beats. And then if you see shaded notes with a tail on them, a stem and a tail on them, that means those are 8th notes, and they are 8 required to fill a bar of 4 beats. So each one is half a beat. And 16th, they have 2 tails instead of 1, but all the other aspects are for the 8th notes apply, except that it lasts for a quarter of a beat. So we need 16 16th notes to fill up a full measure of music if you're doing that. Below are their corresponding rests, because you know it's a mixture of plays and rests. So I hope we understood each other. That's the basics of reading sheet music. I think that's the information you need to have. Good luck. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Check us out at Daladala Creative Academy here in Kampala. We give you the lessons. See you then.